Hi everybody, it's great to be back here with you today. I've got so much sun in this room at the moment, it's absolutely glorious, but I'm really worried it's going to come around and sort of blind us. So I've tried to block it out reluctantly with a blackout blind in the background. So I hope it doesn't kind of come around and shine in our eyes too much. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to be talking today about menopause and anxiety. So if you or someone you know is going through perimenopause or menopause right now, then you could have noticed that you or they are feeling a bit more anxious than normal. And whilst menopause itself doesn't cause anxiety, it is commonly reported that anxiety and those feelings of worry and kind of impending doom are felt very regularly amongst menopausal women. So if you're experiencing menopause or the symptoms of anxiety, then stay tuned, this live is for you. I'm going to be looking a little bit deeper at how and why menopause is related to anxiety. And then I'll share some tips with you to help you cope. I am Kirsty Broder, I'm a retired military dentist and I turned stay-at-home mum a few years back. I help and educate women to improve their general and dental health through menopause and beyond. It really is my passion to help women to keep healthy and happy and maintain some self-confidence as we get older. Look at these bits of hair sticking up. Oh well. Anyway, so what is anxiety? Anxiety is a feeling of general uneasiness. It's like a worry or a fear, and it can be mild or it can be severe. And everybody feels anxious from time to time, and it does usually pass once the situation is over. Anxiety, it is a natural reaction. It's also, we know it as the fight and flight reaction. It can make our hearts race. We might start to feel sweaty, shaky, or short of breath. And it can also change our behaviour. We can become a little bit over careful, but we can become more irritable. And we can also, the anxiety can actually cause us to physically avoid those things which we know and we learn to trigger our anxiety. When anxiety becomes a problem, our worries can really be out of proportion with relatively harmless situations. You know, our worry feels more intense, we feel overwhelmed, and those feelings can really interfere with our everyday lives and relationships as well. Menopause itself is a time during a woman's life when many changes are happening. It can also be a really worrying time for many people, and those feelings of anxiety around this time can be heightened as well. And the reasons for that are because during perimenopause and menopause, our hormone levels of our estrogen and progesterone and our testosterone start to decline. And every woman's experience of this is different. So, the changes in our body the hormones drop in our body, but the changes affect us all individually and all very differently. And they each have a varying effect on our brain and our body. There are so many recorded symptoms, and anxiety, along with low mood and brain fog, are extremely common. There was a recent survey that I found, it's a survey of 2,000 women, and it revealed that there's a staggering 86% of those 2,000 women suffered mental health issues as a result of perimenopause. It's just incredible. And we know that perimenopause can actually cause some women to struggle with anxiety for the very first time. 77% of those 2,000 women actually said that they'd never had mental health problems previously, but perimenopause was really the trigger for that to happen. And the early symptoms of that include depression, anxiety, mood swings, and low energy. Not only have we got the hormonal changes going on, but we've got the physical symptoms and the physical changes of menopause as well. They include things like hot flushes, body aches, skin irritations, sleep disturbance, and all of those things again can actually be triggers for anxiety and low mood. Many women just don't feel like themselves and really struggle with lower self-confidence as well. As a result, what happens is that we lose interest in normal daily activities, things that previously just made us happy, such as exercise, socialising. And that in turn can also exacerbate, make worse those feelings of anxiety and low mood. And it's just like, a vicious cycle, really. From an oral health aspect, it's important to bring that in. Symptoms of menopause and anxiety can also affect symptoms of dry mouth, can make the dry mouth feelings much worse. And there are some associated dental aspects that you might want to be aware of as well if you are going through perimenopause or menopause or beyond. And if you'd like to learn more about managing your oral health during this time, then you can just type the word mouth below and I'll share more information with you. I hope that's been helpful. It's a real kind of superficial overview of how menopause and anxiety kind of go hand in hand. You don't always get one without the other, but they are not mutually exclusive either. So just because you have one doesn't mean that you're going to suffer from the other one as well. But a large proportion of women do, and it's just important to raise awareness so that we know to expect and what we can do about it. So if you are struggling with menopause and or anxiety right now and you'd like some tips or strategies to cope, I'd be happy to share more with you. Just send me a direct message, because I appreciate you probably don't want to air everything down here in the comments on my Facebook page, but I am more than happy if you drop me a direct message and I'll share some more tips about how you can cope with menopause and anxiety right now, and I'll send them through Messenger. So just send me a message. You can just write tips, that's absolutely fine, and I'll share more with you. So I hope that's been useful to you, and yeah, it's great to connect. Take care for now. Bye.